I've talked about a platformer, and I've talked about a JRPG. And through both of those videos, you can probably tell, if not very easily, that I'm more of a story-driven kind of person. And what happens when a story doesn't really have that much gameplay behind it? Would I still enjoy it? And the answer to that is really simple, actually. Yes. And I'm here to talk about a game that actually fits that bill. The game Valhalla, or VA-11, Hall A, Cyberpunk Bartender Action. And you might be wondering, how can a game that doesn't really have much gameplay catch my attention for over 20 hours the way that Valhalla did? And to answer that, it's partly the music and partly the story. I'll go into that more later. The game takes place in the future, in Glitch City. It's a futuristic city, and inflation is through the roof. Ramen costing $60, you can see in a sign at some points, and Jill, the character you actually play as, saying that you can't buy a decent meal for less than 80. You work in a bar as Jill, as I've mentioned before. The bar is owned by a person named Dana, and is run by, again, Jill and another man named Gillian, who you learn more about as the story progresses. In the city, there's also a military super police referred to as the White Knights. Although initially presented as the typical scary police that you need to avoid, you end up meeting a person enlisted with the White Knights, and find out that at least some of them are normal human beings, and you form a relationship with them. And over time, you learn that, well, maybe things aren't as bad as it seems. Until the White Knights are taken completely out of action by an unknown force. I say unknown, but I'm also just generalizing to avoid spoilers. There's also a neat little story with each drink. Specifically, the Piano Man and the Piano Woman, two drinks that you can serve at the bar. The Piano Man being originally made by a bartender, whose friend was a piano player, and the Piano Woman, originally named the Pretty Woman, was renamed because if there's a Piano Man, there should also be a Piano Woman. All of the story, excluding the Prologue DLC, which I don't even know if it's DLC or just an update, I cannot say for sure, takes place after Jill receives a letter in the mail and refuses to open it. Although we don't know anything about the letter at the beginning of the story, we eventually do learn things about the letter and why she refuses to open it, and even meet the person that sent the letter. Hello, Editing Dawg here for the second ever appearance. Something I forgot to mention is the news system. The game has news about current events that you either hear about in the bar or events that you have nothing to do with. And you can view these events while you're at home. And Jill will even comment on some of them so that you can learn her take on it as well. And this helps build the world even further. The gameplay is mostly reading as you read the story of the game and the dialogue as people talk to you, but it also features a drink mixing segment where you're given 5 different ingredients, and I'm going to butcher these. Aldehyde, which is supposedly the sweetness of a drink, Bronson extract, which is the bitterness, powdered delta, believed to be the sour content, Flanderguide, believed to be the spicy content, and the alcohol content, or carmatrine. And these are all mixed together and can either be mixed or blended depending on how long you shake the drink, or served on the rocks, or aged. And while that part is very simple, you do need to pay attention to what people order from you, because if you get a drink wrong, it can be taken out of your pay, or even make the person angry and you don't learn some of the things that you would have. There is an extra drink, not in the drink directory, called the Flaming Moe, which I never used properly, nor did I ever really know about it until I had already finished the game. So there's some hidden dialogue hidden behind serving people the Flaming Moe at certain times in the game that can lead to different outcomes, although I cannot say anything on what those outcomes are as I did not do them personally. And while the drink making is important, there's also a neat little aspect that you can get into of Jill's life, where every day she'll wake up and she'll want something, and then you can go to the store and buy it, and she'll be more focused at work having this thing that she wants. Or when I played through, I didn't have enough money to pay the electrical bill, and so my lights went out, which made Jill distracted. But there's one thing that stands out the most over everything else. More than the interesting story, more than the simplistic gameplay, and that was the music. The music of the game is just astounding. And the system that you use to pick what music you listen to is also kind of neat in my opinion. Every shift, before you start the shift, you get to choose, I think, 12 songs to play throughout that shift. So as you go through, it's always the songs that you play, and you can also skip, go back, repeat, like loop, and shuffle the songs. So it's always what you want to listen to at any given time. More music is also unlocked over time and by doing different things properly, or even, as I mentioned in the store, you can purchase some of the songs from the store that you can then listen to in the bar. Personally, I used the same 12 songs every day once I had them unlocked, and I even went on Spotify and found the songs and put them into a playlist that I will put in the description so that you can choose to make fun of me for my music choice in the game. So, coming to a conclusion, do I think this game is worth picking up? Yes, amazing game, incredibly comfortable game that you can just sit down, play for hours, and enjoy the story and music of. It is, without a doubt, one of my more favorite games that I've played for the story and music, although I do have to kind of say, if you're looking for something that's mechanically inclined and has more gameplay to it, not a great game to pick up, because it definitely is story and music focused. With all that said, I'm your boy, the dog. Thanks for listening.